Been long suspected since it happened, since she died in, I would say, rather mysterious circumstances, that Diddy had something to do with the death of his ex-partner and the mother to his children.
Let's talk about Diddy. Is it just me or I want him to rot in jail? Like, let him just die there because of the things that are coming out. People are wicked. And a lot of people on TikTok are talking about the fall of Hollywood. A lot of people are involved. Do you know what happened when this whole thing came out that time? I think early this year, if I can remember. The one that actually made me cry was Justin Bieber. When I started, because when Justin Bieber started, he was so young, so cute. All of a sudden, it started changing, and I'm like, what's wrong with this guy? Not knowing that he was being abused by Diddy. Allegedly, I don't know if that's true, but that's what everybody's saying. And even Justin Bieber said it in his songs. OMG. And other people. Imagine finding over 1,000 bottles of oil. 1,000 bottles of oil. See, you cannot tell me that is not anal smacks they are doing with that oil. It is anal because that is why they use oil, so that it can enter very well. It is that back. The back is the back one that you use to go to the toilet. That is what they use the oil for, because that's 1,000 bottles. That definitely they've used a lot, and they keep bringing it, keep supplying, because that cannot just be there. It's not using it for souvenir or anything. It's not doing a party, or maybe that's the souvenir that he gives out. No, that is what is in his closet. So definitely it's something that thinking about what Diddy must have done, or a lot of stories coming out, a lot of things coming out. Or sometimes I can't even watch those videos because it's like as if, I don't know. I can't put in those words anyway. Let me show you some reaction on some videos, and I'll back to share my thoughts at the end of the video.
Long suspected since it happened, since she died in, I would say, rather mysterious circumstances, that Diddy had something to do with the death of his ex-partner and the mother to his children, a woman named Kim Porter. Now, what happened was she mysteriously died of pneumonia at the age of 47. Not the typical way that a 47-year-old goes out, especially just when they are about to publish a tell-all book on their very famous ex, Diddy. But that's what happened to Kim. She died of pneumonia at the age of 47 years old. Well, guess what? It was just announced yesterday that Kim Porter's book is being published. It's a 60-page book entitled Kim's Lost Words. It claims to be a collection of the diaries of Kim Porter, the mother of Diddy's children, and it was leaked by her friends. In the book, Porter allegedly recounts discovering and making copies of the tapes that Diddy made of himself having with young boys that he was managing, including an alleged tape involving an 18-year-old pop star who went on to become a household name. So this is getting very interesting. And what has come on the heels of this is people unearthing videos of Justin Bieber at Diddy parties. Now, Justin Bieber was obviously extremely young when he entered the industry, extremely innocent when he entered the industry, an industry that he did not quite understand as a boy who just knew how to sing and play the guitar and just did both of those things on YouTube. And then he was scooped up, and suddenly he was a part of people like Diddy going after him and saying, hey, man, why don't you pick up my phone calls? There's actually a video of that. Diddy and Justin Bieber looks to be like 15 years old.
Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so.
Correct. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
And the next thing we know, Justin is at Diddy's parties. And in this one video, it looks like whatever Justin is doing, and I'm not going to show it out of just respect for the fact that I truly believe that Justin Bieber is a victim. But whatever he is doing in this video with Trey Songz and Odell Beckham Jr. looks highly suspicious. I can show you a still from that video because I think the relevant part is Justin Bieber is not sober. He is clearly very heavily under the influence at this party. And if you remember that lawsuit that the producer Rodney dropped against Diddy, he said that unbeknownst to all of these people, they were being drugged. And once they're drugged, they do very vulnerable things. It has long been suspected that the person that people are now putting the dots together in Kim Porter's allegations that Diddy had under his thumb was Justin Bieber, and that he may have done some inappropriate things with him. And what I will say is that this very much fits the narrative. You know, we saw tons of videos of Justin Bieber. When he got together with Hailey, he was crying a lot outside of churches. He was finding his way back to God, but he was having a lot of emotional breakdowns. And what I sensed from those public emotional breakdowns, and only public obviously because the press was following him, was that he was coming to terms with the fact that he had been engaged in darkness unwillingly. And Justin Bieber probably has a lot of shame about that. He probably feels shame, first and foremost, as a man, as a husband, and as someone who has successfully created a new life for himself with his wife, Hailey Bieber. And so what I want to say to Justin Bieber and to everybody that's following the situation is that Justin Bieber is a victim. I was horrified when I saw this, not because of the idea that Justin Bieber would be engaged in these sorts of things at these parties, but because I understood that this was a kid who was intentionally targeted by Diddy, as the videos show, told that he wants to party with him. He makes it clear that Diddy is trying to contact him through people, and then he finally subjects himself and agrees to give his number. And then we saw an entirely different Justin Bieber. We saw Justin Bieber who was always wearing sunglasses, who was partying, who was very obviously involved in drugs. He spoke at length about his addiction. And Justin Bieber didn't do that to himself. Like I said, Justin Bieber was, in my view, a child victim. And as these videos are circulating on the internet, I want to make sure people remember that and give him the grace as someone who has somehow survived this, turned to family, turned to faith, and is still very much struggling with all of this. For people to give him the grace and the courage and the prayers to hopefully one day find within himself the strength to speak out about what happened.
I never thought that I would make this video, but it's time. They finally got Diddy. They finally got him. But the thing is, there's so many more men out there, just like Diddy, who are abusers, who use their fame to lure women in and abuse them. And I wanted to come on here to say that it is time to out every single abuser in the industry, every single one. They all need to be held accountable. And the thing is, I would be a hypocrite if I came on here and I was telling other women that they need to speak up if I'm unwilling to speak up. I was raped at Chris Brown's house by his friend, Sage the Gemini. Yes, I know, I should have never been at Chris Brown's house in the first place. This happened when I was 18 years old. I'm 26 now, as of today. And I should have never been there. But Sage the Gemini raped me at his house. Chris Brown raped my friend when she was underage. She was under the influence and she was 16 years old. Were on two different occasions. But the thing is, all these men, all these abusers, they hang out together. Chris Brown and Sage the Gemini are rapists. Why have I been afraid to come out all this time? You want to know? It's because right after Sage raped me, he had me sign a paper saying that everything that happened was consensual. And he was my Uber drive. He got me the Uber to Chris Brown's house. And I didn't have any money. And I needed him to get me the ride back. And I didn't know if he was gonna, I didn't know what was gonna happen if in that moment, I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. I don't really know how to talk about this. I just wanted to come on here and let you guys know that Chris Brown and Sage the Gemini are rapists. And I think that we all of us, girls, guys, everybody who has been raped, abused by powerful people in the entertainment industry, fuck it. I don't care if I signed an NDA. I don't care if I signed this paper that said that it was consensual when it wasn't, and you fucking know that. I wonder how many fucking girls that you had signed something just like that. That is fucking diabolical. The fact that that you had that paper brought out right after is so fucking sickening, and it tells me that you've done this before, that something else has happened, and there's no taking back. I already posted on Twitter, so I just feel like I have to make a video now too, and it's time for everybody, and now I can tell other people that they should speak out too. I'm not gonna say who the girl was, because that's her decision if she wants to come out and say what happened between her and Chris Brown. But she was 16 at the time. She was under the influence. I don't care anymore. I don't care, because I know the truth, and the truth is more important than anything. And I'm so fucking happy. It's time. It's time for all of you, for everybody to know who you all are. People are not going to be afraid anymore.
So my people, we need to have a chat. I don't even think we've hit the tip of the iceberg or where this is going to go. But before it goes any further, I need us to all be in agreement about something. I need us to all be in agreement that no matter what comes out about Bieber, specifically, no matter what he has done, that we will administer grace for that little boy. My heart, when I think about what he had to go through, I can't even imagine. He didn't deserve any of it. I just need us all to have compassion toward his situation. That child, because that's how I see him, as a stunted child, does not deserve to rot in jail. He needs help. And we got to stand on business about that.
All those bottles of lube and baby oil. But the thing is, I don't know why we're shocked, because remember when they tried to write Kanye off as mad, but he told us who Diddy was, he told us who Jay-Z was, and he told us who Beyonce was, if you actually remembered correctly. He told us the truth so good and proper, they had to say that man is mad. That man, he has lost the plot. But he told us that Diddy was head honcho, the Epstein of Hollywood. Kanye told us. Kanye told us, so much so that they literally done all in their power to make that man be insane to the people. He wasn't insane. He was woke beyond his times. A phenomenon. He knew exactly who his counterparts were, and he tried to tell us, but y'all made him look mad. Right? That lawyer, he needs to be fired. Matter of fact, he needs to be added on to the federal charges. What do you mean? What do you mean Cassie and Diddy was exchanging DV? That man slumped her and dragged her across the floor, and we saw that video come out. What are you talking about? I want somebody who's going to rise up Kim Porter's book, because now all we need is Kim Porter's book to finish him off, literally. And I just believe that in this taking down Diddy, Jay-Z, Beyonce, and a few other people going to be looking real strange at the end of this. Usher, Meek, yeah.
Diddy is not a freak, okay? The people who worked with Diddy were not freaks. They were not having a freak off. These people were monsters, vile predators doing something that should be unspeakable, unthinkable. You don't get charges for racketeering, assault, trafficking, just because you're a little freaky, just because you like to do adult things in an adult way. You get those charges because you're doing something heinous. In his 14-page indictment, people are caught up on how much baby oil was confiscated from his property. What people aren't talking about was the amount of IV drips that were confiscated from the property, because he was assaulting these people, these women, to the point of dehydration. He was drugging and assaulting them to the point of medical dehydration. That's not freaky. That's evil. That is violent. That is so degrading and debasing to other human beings. And it wasn't just him. He couldn't pull this off by himself. Do you know how many people had to be in on this for it to go on for as long as it has? Do you get that? Do we understand that? We talk about it all the time when these powerful men come down, their enterprises come down, that it's something they can't do alone. They're not doing this by themselves. I hear the jokes and the memes now, talking about the baby oil, ha ha ha, no Diddy, none of that. Put a pin in it. Because what happened here is disgusting, it is vile, it is violent, and we need to start treating these actions and these men as such, instead of always trying to make them into a meme or make light of it. There's nothing to make light of here. This is horrific.
I don't understand we joking about the 1,000 bottles of baby oil when he should have had a sponsorship by Johnson & Johnson. But what gets my attention are the stories that's going to come out and explain how he had all these tapes, how they went about these different things. And it's going to bring light to the fact of the lifestyle that some of these celebrities live are not as great as they make it seem. The things these people go through to be successful, the things these people do to keep their career, the things that people do to leverage money, leverage attention, leverage their success is going to bring light, as there's no easy way to get to this dollar. People that have power are always going to leverage it to get to people that have never had anything in their life. I create that yap session to say, stop comparing your life to the next person, because you never really truly know what they did to get to where they are. Sometimes you're in the place you're in. It's a blessing. It's a blessing in disguise, because you're being true to yourself. You didn't have to sell your body. You didn't have to sell your soul. You didn't have to do something that if it came to light, you would be ashamed if everybody knew about it.
Sean Puffy Combs' federal charges have little, if anything, to do with domestic abuse or pedophilia. His major sex crime federally is he's being accused of transporting women across state lines to engage in sex. What we call prostitution. Not Casey, not the freak-offs, not underage girls, but prostitution. Why am I bringing this up? Because I don't support prostitution either. I do not support men paying for the sugar box. I do not support black women having to sexually exploit their sugar box in order to pay their bills. With that being said, prostitution is the oldest female business on the planet Earth. Prostitution is the oldest female business on the planet Earth. Prostitution is the oldest female business on the planet Earth. It is the sexual trafficking that Sean Puffy Combs is being accused of. Not domestic abuse, not freak-offs, not stomping out Cassie, not engaging in sex with underage women. It is interstate sexual trafficking. That is the charge. Why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up, please God, because when I listen to the news, they're not talking about the evidence against Sean Puffy Combs. When I listen to the news, they're not talking about the evidence of Sean Puffy Combs. When I listen to the news, I have yet to hear anybody give me a specific piece of interstate sex trafficking evidence against Sean Puffy Combs. I'ma say it again. I'ma say it for the low political IQ Negroes. I'ma say it for the average political IQ Negroes. And I'ma say it for the high IQ Negroes. I haven't seen or heard a single piece of evidence against Sean Puffy Combs. I ain't read it in the New York Times. I ain't read it in the Philadelphia Inquirer. I ain't heard it on CNN. I ain't seen it on headline news. Where is the evidence that Sean Puffy Combs engaged in interstate sex trafficking? I keep hearing about Cassie when I turn on the news. Why are we hearing about Cassie when Cassie has nothing to do with the federal indictment? I don't think any black man should have 1,000 bottles of baby oil. I don't think any black man needs 1,000 bottles of baby oil. But I haven't seen anywhere in federal law where owning 1,000 bottles of baby oil is a federal crime. Brothers and sisters, are you with me so far? Brothers and sisters, are you with me so far? Do you understand, overstand, and understand what the most requested black scholar in the world is saying right now? Do you understand and overstand and understand what the most requested black scholar in the world is saying right now? Do you understand, overstand, and understand what the premier Pan-Africanist on the planet is saying to you right now? Baby oil is not a federal crime. Stomping out Cassie, he was not charged with a crime. The freak-offs are not crimes. So why do we keep hearing about Cassie? Why do we keep hearing about baby oil? Why do we keep hearing about freak-offs? Where are the federal charges, and why are the charges being sealed? Why did the feds seal the charges against Sean Puffy Combs? I'm going to tell you one reason why the feds sealed the charges against Sean Puffy Combs. One of the biggest reasons they sealed the charges against Sean Puffy Combs is because the evidence is probably weak. The evidence is probably weak. And because the evidence is probably weak, that he is guilty of interstate sex trafficking, and because the evidence is probably weak that he is guilty of interstate sex trafficking, they had to seal the charges. They had to hide the charges from you and I. They had to hide the charges from you and I long enough for the public execution to be carried out.
What is your own take on this? Please don't tell me you think Diddy is innocent. Please don't tell me that. Please, I don't see. There's a lot of evidence, and I feel like even if they find him innocent, it's because maybe his fame, his money must have bought so many things. And I feel like for them not to collect that bill, they have a lot of evidence against him. And I heard that he's on suicidal watch. So if he just wants to unalive himself to make things easy, to think that a lot of celebrities are involved in these things. See, when it comes to movies, acting, when it comes to musician, if you are, as a young person, you want to be in that space, you have to introduce or try to mingle with people that are already there. They kind of take advantage of the fact that, oh, you want to be famous, right? You want to have money, you want to be rich and famous, right? Then you have to do this, do that. They will use you. And I feel like that is what most of them that got popular have to do. Those are the sacrifices they have to do to get to that fame, to get to that space. Pretty well, it's not just in America this is happening. It happens everywhere. Like, it happens everywhere. And then this whole thing also make me remember what he did to Cassie. This man is horrible. Like, I don't even know. Sometimes a lot of truth coming out, and I'm excited. Like, I cannot even wait. See, I want to see the end of it, just the way R. Kelly did is right now. That I want to see the end, and I'll be very happy. Then there's some clip that I saw at the party. The things that were not supposed to come out. A lot of things. Wow. What is your take on the situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. I know we've not talked about it in this channel, but then let's talk about it now. Let's talk about it now. What is your take? Please don't tell me you think he's innocent. Please don't. I don't want to hear you tell me he's innocent, because he's not. Even though he's not innocent. Can you put your thoughts down in the comment section respectfully, and I'll see you in my next video.